today's video, we're going to talk about what I think is the most powerful habit for people that want to sustain an exercise habit long term. I've coached hundreds of people living with type 2 diabetes and prediabetes, and I've noticed that my busiest clients who have been able to exercise day in and day out all seem to share a common theme. Before we get into this habit though, I want to give you a little backstory as to how I made this discovery. As usual, feel free to get up and walk along to this video. Today we're walking along the beautiful coast of Lagos in the southern part of Portugal. A few years ago, I was reading a book called How to Change by Katie Milkman. In the book, she talks about an experiment that was done in over 2,500 employees at Google. Google decided to pay their employees to work out. So that's the habit. Just get paid to work out and everything will take care of itself. No, just kidding. I wish. So the participants in this study were broken up into two groups, and they were both asked to pick a 2-hour window when they could work out. The first group was only paid for the workouts done in this 2-hour window, whereas the other group was paid for any workouts they did at any time of the day. After 4 weeks, they stopped paying them. Now my question for you is, which group do you think ended up exercising more after they stopped paying them? Well, certainly it's got to be the group that exercised at the same time of the day, right? Wrong. The experiment showed that people paid to exercise any time of the day actually ended up exercising more frequently for 10 weeks following the experiment. Okay, so why is this? Well, the author speculates that the people who could exercise at any time of the day developed this skill of flexibility. They tried to exercise during their window, but if conflicts came up, they were able to find times to work around this. This brings me back to a light bulb moment that I had with a client. I was trying to figure out how he was able to stay so consistent despite working out at what seemed to me to be random times of the day. He told me that each morning he would ask himself, looking at what his day looked like, where am I going to fit in my exercise today? I realized I have a similar approach myself. On 90% of the days, I know I'm going to do some type of workout. So I usually ask myself, what is that going to be and where am I going to do it? Where is it going to fit into the day? For me, I use a really simple alternating schedule where one day I do something to get my heart rate up and the next day I do something to strengthen my muscles. This is, of course, in addition to walking the dogs, chores, and commuting to work and other types of physical activity. Of course, there's patterns built into exercising like this, but there's also a lot of flexibility and variety. What can you actually do to implement a habit like this? Well, I'd suggest each morning write down 3 priorities for the day. One of them is going to be around exercise or working out. Write down what it'll be and when you think you'll have time to do it. If you have trouble remembering to do this, pick something that happens each morning for you, something specific. For me, I make coffee every morning, so pressing down the French press is a very specific action that I do each and every day. For other people, it might be making a smoothie, boiling water. I guarantee there's something that you do every morning that you can anchor this new habit to. So there you have it. The best habit for exercising long term is sort of the habit of flexibility. Let me know what you think in the comments. And also, let me know if you have a secret to sticking to exercise. If you're interested in more content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and also sign up to the mailing list in the channel description. Let's get moving here. Marching in place. You can also 2-step, side to side. Thanks. Get warmed up with some dynamic stretches. Yeah, if you're just joining, this is in Portugal, the south, called Lagos. Yeah, let's go ahead and do some circles with our arms in any direction. If you want to keep walking, again, or just stay stationary. Good work. Let's do some shoulder rolls back. Okay, let's do some circles with our arms in the other direction that we did before. Okay, let's take shoulder rolls in the other direction now. Do a twist, left to right. Okay, so here we're going to lift the same arm while we step back the same leg. Side bend now, placing a hand on the hip. Okay, that's good there. You can go back to marching. And yeah, we're gonna do 10 sets of squats. You can choose to do anywhere from 2 to 10 squats, or even more if this is something you've done before. I'm gonna do 10. Okay, so yeah, whenever you're ready, you can jump into your first set. We're going to be doing a set every 2 minutes. And once you're done, you can jump back in to marching in place. Yeah, I found these lifts just stunning. Yeah, you definitely don't want to go too far off the trail here. Also feel free to sip water as you go. My head a little bit faster than I would like for the video recording here. This is from almost 2 years ago now, which for me is hard to believe. Okay, let's do set number 2. Good job. So if you ended up doing the squats like what we're going to do today throughout the day, it would be equivalent to doing a 30-minute walk or even better for your blood sugar. That's if you're doing about 10 squats. So there's some studies where they have people do it every 45 minutes to every hour. And generally the squats are more effective lowering your blood sugar than going for a 30-minute continuous walk. Hey, but if you can do both, that's awesome. Okay, let's do set number 3. Good job. So, I mean, you gotta be careful because these rocks are not very solid. There's a lot of erosion, not super strong rocks. And this is in April. So it's actually like right before it gets pretty busy in May. But it was still quite warm, like sort of in the 20s. Hey, Jump into our squats. You have to let me know in the comments if you've been to Portugal before. If so, where'd you go? What? It doesn't look like you can go much further, but seem to be going further. Sometimes it looks a little riskier than it is because if you have like a selfie stick, you can extend it and then point it out kind of far. Okay, let's squat. Good job. We're getting there. Squats again. Good job. Okay, squats. We're getting there. Oh yes, I remember this cute little puppy. I almost forgot about this. Yeah, he's so sweet. I think it was mostly golden. Yeah. Very cute. Oh. I think I have the GoPro on my head. That's why it like shifts so quick. It's just following where I look. Whereas with the selfie stick, it's a little bit more work because you have to hold it. But you can move it a little bit slower. So we might just have one set of squats left. I'm not sure actually. I did lose count, but usually I have a timer so I'll know. But I have them integrated into the video today. Okay, do it. Squats. Good job.
I mean, it's kind of cool to think if you just went straight forward past the ocean, you would be in Newfoundland there, facing Canada. There you are, folks. Yeah, we're coming to the last few minutes. We're gonna do a couple of stretches. We'll do our last set of squats, I believe. Good job. Yeah, it is about 12:45 Eastern time. So just in case you have another commitment, just wanted you to know. But we just have a few more minutes here in the video. Okay, so yeah, so hip flexor stretch. So one leg forward, one leg back. Switch it up, switch sides. Okay, so hamstrings, one leg bent, one leg straight. Trying to hinge from the hip. Okay, let's switch it up. We got one more stretch here. So using a table or the back of a chair, I'm gonna sink down into it here. Okay, well, great work today, folks. Thanks so much for joining, and I hope to see you soon.